So I'd like to show you several ways of how I can attach aggregates. You can attach aggregates, any other types of aggregates, in these following ways. So the first one is I'm just applying slip, any slip. I just had the different clay body slip with me right now. So I'm just applying the slip, and then on top of that, I can apply any aggregate slip you like. If it's smaller pieces, I can just put them on top of it like this. If it's bigger chunks like rocks, I'm probably gonna press them in because I'm applying it to the either leather hard or actually wet clay to be able to kind of squish them in, then they're more likely to hold. So as you can see, I applied them and they hold up pretty well. Some of them will fall off, but as you can see, a lot of it is holding, and as long as it's gonna hold on the surface, it's probably gonna hold in the firing, but it's also possible that in the firing, they're gonna fall off a little bit more. The second way of applying those particles to the surface is by using the rolling pin. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna throw a bunch of them either to the surface, or you could put it on the board as well. So I'm just gonna throw it on top of the surface right now, and I'm just gonna press them into the surface with the rolling pin. The other way to apply is to throw in some rocks and some aggregates onto the surface to put the slab on top, and then to roll the slab and roll all of those aggregates in. Because I do not work with hand-built forms or the slabs, that's not the way that I like to apply them and attach them, but as you can see, they are attached, but some of them do fall off. So it just depends. One of the options is to apply slip first, and then still add the aggregates of any size, and then roll the rolling pin again. The third way of applying aggregates is just wedging them in. So I'm gonna wedge the clay first, and then I'm gonna throw in as much aggregate material as I'd like. And then I'm just gonna use whichever wedging technique you're normally using and just wedge in as much material as we need. And as you can see, the more material we add, the more crumbly and less plastic the clay becomes. And so it creates really interesting properties of clay that you can use in your practice. And the last way of attaching those aggregates and applying them into the clay body is the sandwich technique. All of these could be scaled up, but for the sandwich technique, I'm gonna create just a few layers of sandwiches of slabs, and I'm gonna add the aggregate first to one of the slabs, and then just put the other slab or the other piece on top. And I'm just gonna keep going like this. So it's kind of like the sandwich wedging. Just go put another one, and then another one, and one more. And so you can add as much as you want. And then I do like to wedge it one more time before I begin to create the coil with the aggregates in it. And while there's going to be a demo on how we can use coil building, but even in this demo, you can begin to see these beautiful cracks that are already created, even though we haven't even done much. So just the presence of the aggregates in the clay change the clay properties quite a lot. That's it. This is how you can add the aggregates into your forms. If you do hand building, I think the wedging in makes a lot of sense. If you want to wedge it in into the clay body, However, if you want to apply it to the surface, I really like just the slip decoration plus the aggregates on top, or the slabs if you are working with the slabs.